Hey, did you hear that? There goes another one. Those are seconds in time. After 60 of these pass, we call it a minute. And after 60 minutes, it's an hour. And 24 of these are called a day, and 365 is a year, and every 100 years is a century, and a billion years is called a what? A giga-annum. Welcome back, curious minds, to another captivating episode of Why West Why. Today we embark on an intellectual voyage through the annals of time. We're going to explore its rich history and contemplate the concept of its creation. Yeah, I said it. It's created. We created it as humans. But don't worry, I'll explain everything. Everything I'll explain. All in due time. So sit back, relax, join me as we peel back the layers of time and uncover the remarkable origins. So come on, let's dive right in. So first, to comprehend the creation of time, we must travel back through the corridors of history. The ancient civilizations of Babylon, Egypt, and Sumeria devised early methods of timekeeping, aligning their calendars with astronomical events. You see, they recognized the cyclical nature of time, that the movements of the celestial bodies that mark the passage of days and months and years. One of the earliest known timekeeping devices was the sundial, which relied on the movement of the sun's shadow to indicate the time of day. A mathematician and astronomer, Theodosius of Bithynia, is usually credited with the invention of the first universal sundial, sometime during the mid to late 2nd century BCE. This simple yet ingenious invention allowed people to divide their day into distinct intervals and develop a basic understanding of temporal progression. As civilizations progress, more sophisticated methods of timekeeping emerged. Mechanical clocks, such as the water clock or later the pendulum clock that you might even know. They offered a greater precision and standardized the measurement of time. You see, these inventions marked significant milestones in human quest to accurately quantify and organize time. Then came along the invention of the mechanical clocks in medieval Europe. They revolutionized timekeeping. Monasteries and cathedrals housed these early timekeeping devices, which relied on giant weights and gears and pendulums. With the emergence of the clock towers in town squares, now communities synchronize their activities, marking a significant step towards standardizing time across regions. And then, in the late 16th century, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, refining the Julian calendar created by Julius Caesar. This adjusted aimed to align the calendar to more accurately with the solar year, correcting small discrepancies that had accumulated over centuries. The Gregorian calendar remains the most widely used calendar today, highlighting the human effort to regulate and measure time. In the 19th century, the concept of time zones was introduced to ensure constant time measurements across vast distances. The need for synchronized time became crucial as the rise of railways and global communications grew. The establishment of the Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, and the subsequent divisions of the world time zones represented a significant milestone in the creation of global time standards. And then came the Industrial Revolution, brought about by a fundamental shift in the perception and use of time. With the advent of factories and mass production, the notion of time as a valuable resource gained prominence. The clock became a symbol of industrial efficiency, and workers were now required to adhere to strict schedules. This societal transformation further emphasized the human influence on the concept of time. So let's have some fun. So let's explore some mind-bending facts about time that challenge even your everyday perception. Fact number 1. Time passes faster for your face than your feet. Assuming you're standing up, of course. You see, Einstein's theory of relativity dictates that the closer you are to the center of the Earth, the slower time goes. So scientists have even measured it. And at the top of Mount Everest, a year is about 15 microseconds shorter than at sea level. Crazy, huh? Fact number 2. So, what do you think is considered one day in time? Well, it isn't 24 hours. It's actually 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.2 seconds. The reason it's 24 hours from sunrise to sunset is because every day the Earth moves further in its orbit around the sun, and the change in its position lengthens the day slightly. Fact number 3. When dinosaurs were alive, did you know that there were 370 days per year? You see, the Earth's spin is getting slower because the moon's gravity is acting as drag on the Earth. So the days are getting longer by about 1.7 milliseconds per century. Fact number 4. There is no such thing as now. As far as physics is concerned, space and time are fluid, affected by gravity and your speed. See, Einstein put it this way: "For us physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only an illusion, however persistent." Yeah, that's my Einstein. It's as good as it gets. Fact number 5. Time passes slower the faster you move. You see, if you flew to the star Sirius at 99% the speed of light and then flew back again, the people you left behind would have aged more than 17 years. But you had only aged less than 2.5 years. Time as we perceive it is not an inherent property of the universe, but rather a creation of human consciousness. It is a construct that we use to organize and make sense of our experiences and the world that surrounds us. The concept of time has undergone significant transformations throughout history. In ancient civilizations, time was often tied to natural cycles of celestial movements. The passing of days, seasons, and astronomical events served as the very foundation of early timekeeping systems. However, it is crucial to recognize that time as we understand it is not an objective reality, but it is human perception. It is a framework that we impose on the world to create order and establish a sense of continuity. Different cultures and societies have devised their own systems of measuring time, resulting in slight variations such as different calendars and time zones. The invention of standardized time zones, for example, was in response to a growing need for coordination and synchronization in an increasingly interconnected world. It allowed us for much more efficient global communication, transportation, and trade. The notion of time as a societal construct became even more apparent as societies grappled with the challenges of coordinating activities across vast distances. Furthermore, the subjective experience of time varies from person to person. We've all had moments where time seems to either fly by or drag on, but these are influenced by our emotions, attention, and perceptions. This subjective aspect of time highlights the malleable nature of the role of the human consciousness in shaping our experience around it and of time. Basically, time is a man-made concept that has evolved over centuries to help us navigate and understand the world. It serves as a framework to organize our lives, coordinate activities, and measure the passage of events. However, it's important to recognize that time is a vast construct, and it varies across cultures and is subject to our individual perspectives. As we conclude our exploration of the history and creation of time, remember that time is both a practical tool and a complex philosophical concept. These fascinating facts shed light on the intricate tapestry of time and its impact on human civilization. Join me on the next episode of Why West Why, where we continue to unravel mysteries and expand our understanding of the universe. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and always ask, why West Why?